All right, so this is a quick video lesson review on understanding and calculating grades. Of course, in class, it was way more detailed, but I've broken it down to some simple bite-sized chunks that you all will be able to absorb in preparation for the quiz next week. So I'll just talk through it. The first thing that I introduced to you in class was Mastery's new grading scale. And from here, we saw what each of the letter grades corresponds to in terms of a number grade. And then we also talked through quality points. So what you see here under general, honors, and AP and dual enrollment is quality points associated with each of the letter and number grades to the left. We often refer to these as GPAs, but the GPA is comprised of all of the quality points divided by the number of classes taken. So, for example, if a student got an A, a B, a C, and a D in the class, well, they would have 4 quality points for one class, 3 quality points for another, 2 quality points for the third, and 1 quality point for the fourth. The only way that this changes is if there was a situation in which the student was in an honors or AP / dual enrollment class. So for example, let's say the A grade was an honors course, that would be 4.5. Let's keep the B grade the same, so that would still be 3. The C grade would be, let's say a dual enrollment course, that would be 3 quality points. And then the D grade could also be an AP class, which is 2 quality points. You have to make sure that you are associating the correct number of quality points with the correct letter grade and numerical range. So how do you calculate your GPA for each grading period? The first thing that you want to do is add all of the quality points received for each course, divide the sum of the quality points by the number of classes taken, and the quotient that you will have is your GPA. So Keziah earned the following quality points during RP1. All of the quality points are right here. Let me see if I can put a spotlight on that. So we have everything right here. Will this work? No, I don't know what I did, but I think you can see it. These are her grades for RP1. So let me just undo that, because that was just horrible. But these are Keziah's grades for RP1. So the first thing that we're going to do is try to figure out how many quality points that she's going to receive for each course. So in order to do that, we're going to go back to our grading scale, which is right here, where we see the A is the 4, A minus 3.67. In the previous slide, all these courses, none of these courses are AP or honors, so we're going to be using the general quality points, right here, for all of the grades that she received. So when we do that, we notice that the 86 is a 3, the 90 is 3.67 quality points, so on and so forth. All right, for the 50, we see that she didn't get any quality points, and that's just how it goes. So overall, she did well in her classes, but as you can see, you only get quality points for the classes that you pass, and even though she didn't get a complete 0 of a grade, she is not receiving any quality points because the 50 is now F, okay? So we take the 3 plus the 3.67, which is right here, plus the 1.67, which is right here, plus the 3.33, plus the 4, plus the 0, and we have 15.67. And now we see that she's taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 classes. So we're taking the 15.67. We're dividing it by 6, because that's the number of courses that she took. And we have her GPA, which is a 2.61, okay? You can rewind this and watch it again. If I went too fast, that's the beauty of it being on video. Take it at your own pace, but it's always going to be the quality points added together, divided by the number of courses that a student takes, all right? This is for each report period. You can do the same thing with your final grades for the year. All right, so on to the next thing. I had here that you would complete 2 practice scenarios on a worksheet, but that was for class, so we're going to skip that. We're going to go over some of the new grading rules just real quick. These are all slides that you have, so I'll be really quick as I go through them. Tests, homework, and classwork are what your grades are going to be based on. correctness, and not completion. We know that summative means cumulative, formative means development. The summative grade is the highest weight of a grade for a class, and the formative assessments are the lowest weight. So 70% for summative assessments, 30% for formative. Now, to calculate both the summative and the formative grades, the process is also the same. You're going to add the formative grades together, divide the number of formative grades, and multiply that by the percentage, 30%, also 0.30, to get your formative grade total. Then you're going to do the same thing for the summative grades. Add, divide by the number of summative grades, and then multiply by the percentage or the weight. So it's always add, divide, multiply, add, divide, multiply. So we see here Alicia. She's earned the following grades for RP1. She has 4 summative grades, and you can see what those grades are right here. And then she has 10 formative grades, and you can see the formative grades right here. So what is Alicia's RP1 grade? Well, the first thing we have to do is figure out the summative assessment average. So if we go back here, we're taking the 100 plus the 85 plus the 70 and the 89. That gives us her summative average, which I apologize in this example, I don't actually give the number here, but we take that number and then we divide it by 4 to give us the 86. We're not done yet because we have to take this 86, remember, add, divide, then we multiply by the percent, the weight of the summative grade, which is 70%. 86 times 70% equals 60.2. 0.70 is how you're going to type that into your calculator, okay? What is Alicia's formative assessment average? Well, she had 10 formative assessment grades, right? So the more formative assessments you have, the lengthier this process becomes, but it's easy math. We take the 10 grades and add them up, then we divide next by the number of grades that she had, which was 10. We got the number 90.6. Not done yet though. We got to take the 90.6 and multiply that by 30%, also written as 0.30, and then we'll get 27.18. So we have her summative grade and her formative grade that we will then add together to get her overall RP1 grade. Now, the beauty part about this process is, regardless of where you're at in your class, you can figure out your summative grades and your formative grades and what your current grade in that class will be. So you can do this along the way. All right, last but not least, I just want to highlight a few things. We talked about work habits. These are the 4 work habits that are going to appear on your report card. Your report cards will also look slightly different, just as a refresher. Class rank is going to be there, honor roll, work habit scores, your GPA, and your number and letter grade. When it comes to summer school, remember, you have to pass at least 1/2 of a course to be eligible for summer school. So what does that look like? Well, let's say in this example, a student failed RP1, but they passed RP2. They passed RP3, because remember 65 is passing, but then they failed RP4 with a 63. They are not eligible for summer school because they didn't pass half of a course. So RP1 and RP2 make up 1/2, and RP3 and RP4 make up 1/2. Even though they technically did pass RP2 and RP3, these are on 2 different semesters. So it does not make them eligible for summer school. If you look here, there's an example of someone who is eligible. They failed RP1, right? They passed RP2, but overall, if we were to average these grades together, their first semester, which is half of the course, they did not pass, they failed. However, they did pass RP3 and RP4, so they would be eligible to recover their credit in summer school. And when they go to summer school, they will be taught the information that was covered during RP1 and RP2, okay? So summer school is going to be beneficial for those people who need to get retaught the areas that they struggled in, okay? All right, that's enough for that one. Students must pass summer school with a minimum grade of a 65, and only 2 classes can be recovered during summer school. So, how many credits do you need overall for high school promotion? Well, to be considered a sophomore at you have to have 5.5 credits. You're considered a junior when you have 11 credits and a senior when you have 17. So in class in the future, we'll be going through your transcripts and making sure that you have enough credits to be considered a senior by the time you're done your classes this year. The reason why this is important is because if your credits fall below that 17 credit threshold after your junior year, you would technically be still considered a junior. Although you would be in your senior year, you wouldn't be, you'd have to catch up on some courses to be technically considered a senior. All right. If you have questions about this, I can speak to anybody one-on-one during office hours, or we can schedule an appointment. Last but not least, the graduation requirements will be in the slides as well that are attached. And that is all I have for you in regards to this understanding grades, understanding and calculating grades lesson review.